Out of here, you've gone from Jared McKinnon, the homegrown Tyus Jones, Jeff Teague, Llewell Dang, Lance Stevenson, Central Henderson, Anthony Barr, Carl Anthony Towns. This special day, it is great to have a special guest here with me. He is the young mogul, he is the entrepreneur, he is the businessman, he is the man with the plan that has, from the beginning, had this work ethic that I'm so proud to have on my show today. It is Akeem Akway. He is here.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you, Mark, for having me here.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So, for those that don't know, Akeem, he's been cutting hair around the community, around the whole entire state. He is known throughout the United States. He got people that come in from all over to, come get their hair cut by you, man. How does it feel?
Man, it's a great feeling, but I always feel like I should be here just because, like, the work ethic.
Right.
It didn't just, like, it didn't come overnight. That's what I always preach to my guys. You know?
So let's start from the beginning. Let's get right into it. I mean, a lot of people see you on the gram, they see you on social media, but they don't really know you. They don't know what it took to get here. They don't know your backdrop. Yeah. Where are you actually from?
Okay, so I was born in Ethiopia, but my background is Sudan.
Okay.
You know?
So the Ethiopian Sudan, you were there for how long?
I was there until I was 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your real childhood, the things that you truly remember, aren't from the United States. It's from a whole nother, place, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people didn't know that. So when you first came over here, when you were 9, where did you go to school? What city were you in?
So it's crazy. So when you coming from Africa straight to the north side of Minneapolis.
Right.
And so I went to Lincoln.
Okay. You was in
know.
Lincoln, I know. Yep. So you was in the hood over north. Okay.
So I went to Lincoln and then transferred to Pillsbury.
Okay. That's still the hood. Keep on.
And then in 03 or 04 I moved to the suburbs in Fridley.
Okay. So let's stay on that childhood real quick. So you moved over here when you were 9.
Yeah.
What was the biggest change for you? I mean, so first, before we even talk about the United States, what is it like living in another country? What is it like living in, and you're in Sudan and when you're in Ethiopia? What was it like over there?
Man, it was crazy because I remember me and my brother, Omar, we used to really go out and look for our own food. Like,
really?
Yeah, like go climb mango trees. I know it sounds fake, but it's the truth.
Climbing mango trees.
Mango trees.
Well, mangoes is bomb. So what were the type of lifestyle? Was it a good one back, before you came over here? What was it like? Was your parents, working? What was the living situation?
I mean, I lived in a hut.
Okay.
Yeah. We, just like any kid, like, we played sports, soccer, but, we didn't have a real ball. We had to make a ball out of, what's it called, like a sock. We would put like newspaper in it and then make it into a soccer ball. So just like stuff like that,
So you guys are use your imagination. You guys were out there.
We were poor.
Right. Okay. So was the whole area, or was this a village, or was this, because I want to give a big backdrop on just the beginning.
So the city I'm from is called Gambela, Ethiopia.
Okay.
So I've never actually lived in Sudan.
Okay.
But yeah, we're from Gambela, Ethiopia.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's a poor city. I mean, but like there's electricity and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, we was poor. Some of our friends, like, some of them would have TVs in their cribs, but we didn't. So we would watch TVs with them. Stuff like that.
So talking to your parents coming over, what made the decision to come over to the United States?
So my brother Peter, he came here in '98.
Okay.
And then, so when he left Africa, everybody, because it was like a war going on, and then everybody thought, in my family thought like he had died or something, because he left as a teenager, So years later, we get a random phone call or a videotape recorded, just him telling us that he's in America, when we all thought he was dead,
Really?
Yeah, so he left in the army, he was part of the army.
Okay.
So he went to Egypt, Kenya. So this dude knows 7 languages. Yeah.
So how much older is he? How many years is he older than you?
He's in his 40s.
Is he?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he really, I think he's a real hustler, because how you go from Ethiopia and then out of nowhere you're in Minnesota.
Right.
You know, and
that's crazy.
And then you know 7 languages. You know.
Yeah. So for you, how many languages did you know coming over? Did you know English?
Nah.
You didn't know any English?
No English.
Zero English coming
Zero.
over at 9 years old.
Yeah. Crazy.
I don't think people understand. I don't think no one even knew that from you.
Yeah.
So at 9 years old, you came over here no English.
Yeah,
when you're going to Lincoln, when you're going to Pillsbury. So
yeah.
How long did it take you to grasp the English concept? You know what I mean? To learn how to speak English.
I mean, I sat in front of the TV a lot, watched a lot of basketball, BET.
Okay.
You know, like to pick up on the culture right away, you know?
Yeah, and when I traveled around the world, they say that a lot of people pick up on just learning English by watching movies and watching things of that nature.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I was doing. I watched a lot of movies.
So what did you gravitate towards? Where did you see, like, you watched? Obviously, he's wearing Jordans right now. He has the retro ones on right now. You can't see his feet. So you watched Jordan, you watched NBA back in the day. But what else was it that you watched on TV? Like, who was your idol watching on TV that you watched all the time?
So in Africa, we like Tupac a lot.
Really?
Yeah, he was like worldwide.
Okay.
Michael Jordan.
Okay.
You know, those were the people in Africa, like that. Michael Jackson too.
Okay.
But when I got here, I started like watching more NBA. So in 2000, it was like Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
You know, he was my favorite at the time, and then Kobe Bryant, like all that. Then I was watching a lot of rap music videos. Like I used to record it on my on the VCR. Yeah. So just like Lil Wayne and, you know, Jay-Z, stuff like
Notice
that.
how he said VCR. So the new generation knows nothing about VCRs at this point, for sure. So even going into that, even that's a good segue. So if Allen Iverson was your guy, Allen Iverson was also your start of fame for your barber career.
Yeah.
Right? So what made you, and I'm going to show you guys here in a second, we're going to show you a video of what I'm talking about that got so many hits. I think it's around 40,000 right now on YouTube and still trending out here. But
that did 100,000 views in like.
But that was on World Star too.
On
though.
World Star.
On World Star was over 100,000. On YouTube it's like 40 now. Yeah. But my point is, what made you decide? How did you know that you can start cutting hair and actually start putting images and art inside someone's head?
Okay, so like my whole family, we're like artists. Like my brother went to college for art, like graphic design. Okay. His name is Omat. Like, what he do? He do like illustration for like children's book. Really? Yeah. So you can actually go to Barnes and Noble and see some of his work. Really? Sold. Yeah.
That's so that means you got all those books. You should be having all them books. Right? Yeah. Older brother, he's supposed to be buying your work.
It's children's book. I don't got no kids yet, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where it started, and then you know, even to go back, let's take one step back before this Allen Iverson segue. What made you become a barber?
Like I always say, like I feel like barbering chose me because I just happen to be good at it. So you know, I played varsity at Fridley.
Varsity basketball.
Yeah. So all of our guys, they used to let me cut their hair after practice. You know. Right. And then the teachers started coming, and then coaches, stuff like that.
So you started cutting the teachers and the coaches.
Yeah, not sanitizing the clippers either, you know.
So just hot old clippers that, you know what I mean?
Walmart clippers.
Walmart clippers and getting it in early.
So when I was doing all that, Star Tribune had came and it was doing a story on my basketball team because we started out pretty good that year. Yeah. And they was wondering like what was going on. Like the chemistry just happened to be me. Right. Like, me and all the guys.
Hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out, you know, after practice, stuff like that. So when the story came out, like people was reading it, they were like, oh, you're actually pretty good at cutting hair. You should look into taking it more serious. Right. And then I went to barber school.
Okay. So if y'all didn't notice in the beginning when I did this introduction, I said entrepreneur. Akeem has been an entrepreneur before this barber and master barber. Before all that, he always was looking for a way to feed the people what they needed. And back when, if anybody remembers, what was it? Who Better TV?
Yeah, Who Better TV.
So what was Who Better TV? What was that little notion you had going where you had everyone going crazy for a while?
So basically, we was like social media before social media.
Okay.
Around high school, you probably remember I used to do the Rodney Williams dunk contest. Yep. You know, when we was hooping. Yep. And then we moved into the party world. Like we all went to college. U of M parties. We would film it and then
Yep.
release it every Sunday on YouTube or Facebook.
Yep.
And then back then, there's no Vine or Instagram, so
Mhm.
if you got on Who Better TV, you was on.
Yep.
So, it was
So-
like a recap type
Right,
thing.
and so that's why I always say you're a mogul. You literally were, you were the Soldier Boy of Minnesota before Soldier Boy. You was out here really working hard and trying to find your niche.
Yeah.
And so for all the people that are watching this and the ones that are going to be watching this in the future, where we have it everywhere, being an entrepreneur, like, what was your first situation? Because I know even before Who Better TV, you were looking for some type of business or things that you were getting into. What was your first entrepreneur experience? What was it that was one of the first times you realized that you could do something with your own hands or with your own time to make some money or to help somebody out? What was it?
So you talking about before Who Better and all that?
Yeah, like I just want to know, like, just being an entrepreneur. Like, when did you realize that you wanted to work for yourself and not work for other people?
I don't know. I think when, like, in high school, I was always like, I never seen myself like sitting behind a desk or like working like in a cubicle, you know. So I always wanted to be on my own time.
Yeah.
I like my sleep, you know.
Uh-huh.
Like I always wanted to move on my own time, you know.
Right.
So I felt like I needed to own something so I could control like my schedule and all that.
Right.
So nothing really happened to trigger my mind. It's just like a feeling.
And but that feeling, what's so amazing about that is a lot of people have that feeling. They're too afraid to go on that feeling.
Yeah.
You were able to just, being from where you came from and already came from the bottom, what did you have to lose? You know what I mean?
Yeah, nothing. See, that's what people don't get.
Yeah.
When we say, like when I say I'm a celebrity barber, I'm not calling myself a celebrity. I'm saying I cut celebrity.
Right.
Most people get that mixed up. They feel like I'm calling myself a celebrity.
Right, and I don't think it's your fault. I just think there's other barbers out here who think they're celebrities and might not be up to that challenge just yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we're going to definitely get into what's going on now. We've been given a good backdrop of his story and his things that some people don't know. Some people do know, but usually how we do that is it's your inner circle. And your inner circle is the people that are motivating you, that are growing you to be a better person. And even for you growing up, did you have other people in your life that were the big homie, that were the big bro, that was showing you their way? Or were you the person that was literally on your own, just riding your own footsteps?
Yeah, I would say I was more on my own, but like when I started working for Damien, he was kind of like the big homie. Like I saw my dream car used to be like a Mercedes Benz, and I seen he had that. He lived in a condo. That was like some of the stuff I liked, so I kind of like gravitated towards him, and he was my big homie. I remember one night I was at his house. He showed me a large amount of money, like off Barber. It was like crazy amount of money.
Right.
And then that was just like the motivation right there.
Right.
He said you could get this if you just continue to keep working. So, but that was one person I would say. But other than that, I didn't have any big homies like that. And like I always tell my my guy Nate here, like he should appreciate the time he has with all the big homies, because he got a lot of guys that he could look up to, and that kind of makes not easier, but like with me, I had to mess up and then learn on my own, But with him, he could kind of like watch me, like so he don't gotta really like mess up or anything like that.
Right, because there's two different ways. Either you live and you learn on your own and from your mistakes, but you can also learn from another man's mistakes or another woman's mistakes. You can see somebody else that is not doing well and you be like, all right, well, that's not the path I want to go. I see them that they failed there, so you succeed in the other way. So has it always been easy for you to pull somebody else with you? Or has there been situations that, because the terminology I use and why, it's Monday Motivation tomorrow, we're always giving motivation, but you have to reach a certain level before you're able to pull back and grab somebody. Because if you guys are both drowning in the water, you can't save somebody while you both in the same platform. So you definitely had to reach a certain plateau to be able to reach back. When did you know that you reached a level where you could give back?
I mean, before I started, like my homeboys, like they seen I was successful just working at Damien, so I was telling them like, y'all go to barber school, and like by the time y'all graduate, I'll have a shop open, so like we can all work together, kind of like how we was in the locker room in high school. Yeah. So I always try to pitch the idea to my homies, like, because we all had hoop dreams, everybody did, like we was gonna go to the NBA. Right. But I just had that little plan, like, hey, I know I'm good at barbering, and if I open shops, I could put all of us in position to like make money. So, so for example, when I go cut athletes, I used to bring my guy Malayan with me, and then now I'm bringing, like, he went off and got his own business, but now I'm bringing my guy Nate with me, you know, and I just want to show him the way.
So even with that, how do you balance or weed out the snakes? There's a lot of people that want to be Nate, that want to be Malayan, that come into your circle that like, put me on, bro. How can I get on, bro? How do I get this money? How do I get this lifestyle?
I mean,
how do you maneuver? How do you get that out? You know, because there's people left and right that are in your inbox. There's more groupies that are males and females that are in your life, bro. So how do you maneuver around that?
I mean, obviously you got to see the potential in somebody. You know? First, they got to be a genuine love first, you know. But then also you got to see that. What
advice do you have for other entrepreneurs and young barbers that are coming up that want to be successful? What is it? What's different about you, besides what God gave you and your natural talents? But what's different about you that they're missing out on that they could be changing? Little tidbits there. This is when y'all supposed to get your notepads ready.
Yeah, I think it's the work ethic. When I was at Damien's, I was the first barber there. Okay. When the shop opened, we open at 10. I'm there at 9, and then close at 9. I'm there till like 10 or maybe 1 in the morning doing designs, like extra work, to the point where the mall security guy had to kick us out. You know, like, hey, the mall is closed. Y'all gotta go. Right. So I just put in the extra hours, you know. And same thing now. Like, I'll be talking to some of my barbers, like, how I'm the owner, but I'm still here before you, right? And I'm leaving after you, you know. So it's just like you just got to put in that extra work. Okay.
So if you guys didn't hear that, be the first and the last at whatever you do.
And I got that tactic from Kobe Bryant with his basketball.
Talk about the promoting yourself, the marketing yourself. What goes into that?
Okay. So a lot of people think you could just post a picture. That's cool, but all the barbers post pictures. What are you gonna do differently? Right. So mine, hey, I like to get fly, and you know, the young guys, they attract to that. You know, I like Jordans or just getting fresh, you know. So I don't always just post haircut pictures. I just post my whole like lifestyle with it, you know, because when they see me with the ball players or driving a nice car, stuff like that, you know. It kind of motivates and they gravitate new people. They want to see what it's about. Kind of like what Floyd Mayweather do with his career. Okay. You know, he talk crazy and all that. But mine, I don't talk crazy. I just basically let the work speak for it. But kind of like that, you know, you got to be flashy with it, you know. Okay, on the list before we get out of here, you've gone from Jared McKinnon, the homegrown Tyus Jones, Jeff Teague, Llewell Dang, Lance Stevenson, Central Henderson, Anthony Barr, Carl Anthony Towns, T.I. I didn't cut T.I.
Was that Malayan who got to cut T.I.? Yeah. Okay. Well, you got to meet the man. Yeah. He's pretty cool too. He was in town with Nelly. Jamal Crawford. You had, rest in peace, Mac Miller. Yeah. You were able to cut Mac Miller's hair when he came here. Yeah. Briefly, how was that experience?
Man, that was amazing. Mac is a real cool dude. But funny story, when I was cutting him, I remember I cut Cat like the night before, or a week before, and Cat was just telling me like, man, Mac Miller is my favorite rapper, this and that. I was like, oh, that's weird. I would have never thought. And then a week later, I ended up cutting Mac Miller. And then after I got done cutting Mac, I was just telling him like, yo, Cat actually like loves your music. So I connected them. Like, I was that bridge. I FaceTimed Cat. Like, yo, I'm with Mac right now. And then I connected them later on that night. Mac Miller invited me and Cat to the studio with him till like 3 in the morning. It was, for real? Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, so see? Cat always like appreciate me for being like that bridge. So even though he would have probably met him down the road without me, but just like meeting him through his barber, it was pretty dope.
But then that just shows how far you came. Yeah. You are now being someone that can bridge the gap for that. Yeah. And then even going further, before I even go back to that words, you had Kyle Kuzma, you had Fab, you got to cut him, and the list continues to go on. And the whole point of now is that like you reach this certain level.
Yeah.
But it's not over for you. This is just the beginning.
Yeah.
So it's like, for people that are watching this interview, you got to understand that once you reach your goals, you have to always create new ones. That after every mountain, there's another mountain to climb. And with that comes more money, more problems. With that, what comes is more money, more questions that you have to answer, more solutions that you have to come up with. So you got to stay, tight on your toes, and you got to be ready for whatever comes your way. Because now, like I said, you got this success that comes on your shoulders. You can lose it all still.
Oh yeah.
So you gotta stay ready.
You gotta move differently, bro.
Yeah, and that's the main thing. But just because he moves differently, that doesn't mean that you're a different person.
Nah.
You can keep it 100, but the $100 bill can still change.
Oh yeah.
So
right about that.
So the last question I have for you before you go, and this is the biggest one for me, is we talked about the disconnect between the two, between Africans and African Americans. In your own words and your own opinions, what do you think we can do as communities around the United States? What can we do to bridge that gap? What can we do, because we all are African Americans, even my light self, I'm the lightest minority I know, but we all are minorities, and there is less of us, so to speak, in power than those that are non-minority. What can we do to bridge that gap with the children and the youth and everything that we see to come together? What do you think?
I think just pick up the book, starts with the parents, telling them, like, I was working with a homie named AJ. He moved to Texas now. But he was telling me in this household, they had a lot of African, like, paintings.
Decor and all that stuff,
and all that. So he was always open-minded with that. So I think it starts with the parents to tell them, like, hey, if he's African, he's still your brother,
Yeah.
So just, like, don't be out here just judging people, actually get to know, because at the end of the day, we're all human.
Yes.
And we're all the same. Same, so I think starting with the parenting at home, like just telling them, we're all the same.
Yeah.
So, and working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So with that is a beautiful ending on that. We do have to work together.
Yeah.
As minorities, we have a responsibility, because I always say this, that there can be 20 African Americans, 20 Africans, 20 black men in the room.
Yeah.
And if 19 of them are doing what's right,
yeah.
and one person is being ignorant and acting crazy, that's the only person they're going to remember.
Exactly.
That's the only thing that's going to stick out in their mind, is that negative sore thumb. So we all have a responsibility to our communities, to our families, and to ourselves to be better.
Yeah.
And you have done a great job of that. I am proud to have you as my friend. I'm proud to have you on this show. But a lot of people, again, have not been able to see this side of you.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you're out here just to show them just a glimpse of who you really are on the inside. And
yeah, we got documentaries coming out, man, and a lot of
that's the entrepreneurship.
Yeah, a lot of work on the way. I'm trying to get a deal with the Timberwolves, man.
Yeah,
something like that.
Not to mention, I know that another thing that you got in the works that you need to, and if I got to help you on the way, NCAA Final Four is coming up.
Oh yeah, they reached out to me.
I remember.
They want me to cut some of the team that come here, so that's another thing I got coming up.
So that means, again, the NCAA Final Four is going to be in Minneapolis this year, and so they want him to cut a few of the teams and the people that come into town. They want everybody to have fresh cuts to be ready. We're on camera, but that just goes to the notion that if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. So if Akeem is at the point of where he is now, where all he had to do was say, yes, I'll do it, and he's ready. You're already there.
Exactly, so, and that's what I preach to the barbers, be ready. I would tell them, like, Nate, do you got a house call, clipper box? Because when you get that phone call, you don't got time to be running to the shop. Like, I got my clippers in the back of my trunk.
Right.
Somebody touched down, I'm ready to go.
Our engineer needs his haircut badly. And where is your shop located so we can plug, man? Everybody know where you at. We're going to put all the links in here, too. But where is your barbershop located?
We're in Mounds View. It's 2436 County Highway 10, Mounds View, right there by the movie theater.
Okay.
Come through. We're open 7 days a week. 10
7.
Yeah.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
Not all barbershops are open 7 days a week.
I think we might be the biggest barbershop in Minnesota, like chairs-wise. We got 14 chairs. Some of the ball players, like, I'll go to Jeff T crib, and like sometimes it'll be easier if some of the rookies just come there, so I don't gotta keep moving around.
True.
They'll still pay that $100.
Okay. So another thing, what I'm gonna leave you guys with before we get them out of here, is that you pay for what you get.
Yeah.
Your work ethic will get you as far as you push yourself. and that he can set his own prices and set his own law because he worked for that.
Yeah, and that's what I'm trying to preach to all the young barbers coming up. Don't limit yourself. Like if you feel like your work is worth 50 or 100 a cut, hey, make it happen. But that's if the demand is there, though.
Right.
You can't just be out here overtaxing people and you're not booked out. I got to that point by being booked out like months in advance. You know?
Right.
So to knock that down, you got to go up on the prices. Now I'm booked out like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Right. That's supply and demand, people. That's economics right there. Okay. Yeah. So thank you.
And I ain't go to college either.
say it again.
I ain't have to go to college. That's just common sense.
So what that means with that, I was just gonna say we're about to head out, but before I leave, I can't leave on that note without showing you that even with people who have degrees, even with people that have PhDs, to be an entrepreneur, to be successful, does not always go off of what paper you have, but your work ethic and your heart and your dreams and desires. That you can still be successful without a degree. That life still goes on without, and there's plenty of billionaires and millionaires that are out here that did not have a degree but lived into the American dream of being themselves, being able to open their own business and to go far with that. So that he is the epitome of that. New Jersey's son. Who's this? New Jersey's son says, Akeem, I'm proud.
That's my guy. I went to barber school with him.
Okay, so that's him. We got Chris Williams saying blessed, definitely motivational. So you got a lot of love on here. Thank you again for coming on the show, and I just hope that we can spread this video around to show them that you can be successful from coming from the streets and coming from a whole different place, coming from, what was the city name?
Gambela, Ethiopia.
So all the way to here, driving around in a Maserati, coming from making soccer balls out of literally socks to where you are now is a blessing in its own. I wish you nothing but success in your future, and this is on the beginning for you, brother. Thanks for coming on to the show.
Thanks for having me, Mark.
For sure. And happy Martin Luther King Day. This was a perfect day to have him here. I hope everyone understands that you are someone, you do mean something in the community, you do mean something in this world, and it's up to you to prove it and show it to the world and help out as much as you can. Thank you again for coming on tonight.
Thank you. Malayan just texted me, legendary. I swear to God.
Go ahead, let them know real quick.
Oh yeah, Akway Sports Barbershop, man. We're trying to go global. In Chinese, it says Sports Barbershop. So, yeah, come through.
Get your merch.
Get your merch.